Welcome to Tifa Letters, a special summer series from the Filipino American Woman Project. I'm your host, Jen Amos. Each week, I will read a fictionalized letter, my creative interpretation of real conversations with you. These letters have been woven with heart, reflection, and truth to honor your stories while protecting your privacy. It all begins with one line. If I could say one thing, because sometimes one thing is all we need to take up a little more space. Let's get started. To the hopeless romantic in me, if I could say one thing, I can finally say this. I admit it. I used to mistake intensity for intimacy. It took a recent conversation with a girlfriend of mine to see that clearly. We were talking about an old friend of ours that we haven't seen since college. It's been years now, but she was one of those friends that always seemed to leave a trail of breakups behind her. You wouldn't think so, but she had a way of playing the damsel in distress. It was like her mating call. It was her way of getting men to fall for her, to save her. She drew in men with the savior complex so she can be swept by them, be cared for by them, only to repeat her old patterns of sabotage and ultimately ending the relationship. The cycle became very predictable. There was a honeymoon phase, a passionate fire, to epic chaos, a downward spiral, and disaster. It reminded me of the old patterns that I used to fall into. The kind of relationships that started off like a lightning bolt and left me scorched. When I think about my ex, man, our intensity, our late night, I've never told anyone this kind of confessions, the fiery arguments, the dramatic reconciliations, I took that as proof that what we had was real. I thought love had to be big and cinematic, like the stuff of fairy tales. I now see that what I was calling passion was actually instability, that the butterflies in my stomach were anxiety. The chemistry I felt was more about trauma bonding than true connection. And I chased it again and again and again. Because somewhere in my hopeless romantic heart, I believed that if I just held on tightly enough, if I loved hard enough, I could turn this into something lasting. But in the end, I was left exhausted, depleted, and lonelier than ever. And no matter what kind of ointment I used, these emotional scars from the burns will never go away. When I think about it, what kept me in that relationship wasn't just him. It was definitely loneliness. A deep, aching kind of loneliness that crept in after I moved away from my hometown, amplified by the isolation of the pandemic. That loneliness made me just want to cling to the fantasy of a happily ever after. I thought that if I just loved hard enough, like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, I could turn this chaos into a fairy tale. But that wasn't love. That was ridiculous. But more importantly, it was survival. These days, things are different. I'm surrounded by a small but steady social community. I've started to see that what I craved back then wasn't really romance. It was connection. Healthy, reciprocal, low drama connection. Sure, I still want a devilishly passionate, romantic partner, but I've stopped worshiping the idea of romantic love as the highest form of love. I used to think that platonic relationships were somehow lesser, but now I know they're sacred in their own right. If I'm being honest, someone like that old friend that we were talking about at the beginning, if I were to date someone like her, gosh, that would have drained me. The old me might have fallen for someone like her, but the person I am today, I've got boundaries now. I know my patterns. I know the difference between being needed and being loved. And today, I have a great relationship. I have a great marriage. No, it's not fiery. I'm not floating in a perpetual honeymoon haze. But my husband and I, we have a great living arrangement. We have a great lifestyle. I love the way he expresses care and love. It's a whole lot better than what I wanted in an idealistic romance. It's real and it's mine, and I'm glad. It's the healthiest, realistic, grounded relationship I've ever been in. On the surface, people could look at us and consider us boring because we're steady. We don't have major high or lows. But for someone like me, someone who, like my therapist has said, has had a nervous system that was trained to expect chaos, this quiet, steady rhythm is exactly what I need. I used to be addicted to wildfires. Now, I've learned to sit by the campfire. It's warm, steady, and it doesn't burn me alive. I'm learning that I don't need to save anyone. I don't need to be like Belle in Beauty and the Beast. That kind of overgiving, overforgiving, it isn't love. It's fiction. My worth doesn't come from being needed. If I want to stop repeating toxic patterns, I have to choose differently. And I'm so glad I made that bet on myself. So, to the hopeless romantic in me, the part of me who craved the drama, the fantasy, the emotional chaos, thank you. Thank you for helping me get through the loneliest parts of my life, but I don't need you anymore. I'm learning a different kind of love now, one that doesn't burn, but keeps me warm. If I could say one thing, it's this. I've had my share of wildfires, but now I'm choosing the warmth of a campfire instead. Love, Mint. Someone learning to love differently. If you could reflect on one thing, it's this. Have you ever mistaken intensity for intimacy? Want to respond? You can reply today at tfaletters.com. That's TFAW as in the Filipino American woman, letters as in plural.com. tfaletters.com. Or better yet, write your own letter. Submissions are now open. You can include your name or stay completely anonymous. So, if you could say one thing, what would it be? Subscribe for free today at tfaletters.com and follow the steps in the welcome email to submit your letter. I hope to read yours in the upcoming fall season. P.S. If I could say one more thing, it's this. Become a pen pal today at tfaletters.com to access the writer's commentary and whatever else they're comfortable with sharing. You can even write to the writer directly and join our private group chat. Your financial partnership helps us take up space, one letter at a time. Become a pen pal today at tfaletters.com. Once again, that's TFAW as in the Filipino American woman, letters as in plural.com, tfaletters.com. See you on the inside.